The Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
It's the front page news.
It's what's trending now.
All right, y'all, who should Joe Biden pick as his running mate? You know that's going to be coming up soon, the announcement. We all been waiting for it to get closer. Former Vice President Joe Biden said that he will choose his running mate the first week in August. So that would mean next week. And Biden has committed to naming a woman, and there's a short list of 10 names that's been circulating, right? So joining this morning to break all that down, break down and offer some predictions, we got the one and only Attorney Glennon Threatt. Good morning, Glennon.
Good morning, Ricky, and good morning to your radio audience.
Hey, man, listen, so there's 6 black women on the list. You know, you got Stacey Abrams. She is the former Georgia state representative. Karen Bass, representative from California. Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms. Yes, sir, we got Val Demings, United States Representative from Florida, and Senator Kamala Harris, former National Security Advisor. And she is a senator, Senator Kamala Harris, and former National Security Advisor Susan Rice. So what do you think, Glennon?
Well, Ricky, I look at it. You know, there's only been 2 females that have ever been candidates for vice president or for major parties in our history. One of them was Geraldine Ferrara in 1984, and she and Walter Mondale lost, and then Sarah Palin ran with McCain in 2008 and lost to Obama. But as I look at it now, the vice president really has 3 roles. One is to help the presidential candidate win the campaign. The second is to help the president govern if they win. And then the third, which is one that has been emphasized by Joe Biden, is that person has to be ready from day one to be president. And so as I analyze these political candidates, a lot of them have strengths and weaknesses. I mean, Stacey Abrams has a national profile. She was in the Georgia General Assembly for 10 years. She's highly intelligent, very focused, well-educated. She'd be an extraordinary candidate for vice president. I look at Karen Bass, who is, the chair of the Congressional Black Caucus from California. She was a former physician's assistant. She was the first woman to be first black woman to be speaker of any state's General Assembly in 2008 in California, and oddly enough was endorsed by George Will, a well-known Republican and conservative pundit. Then Keisha Bottoms, 2-term city council member and judge from Atlanta, and the current mayor. Val Demings, who was in the police department for over 20 years there, 3.5 years as chief. She's a Harley-riding, gun-owning, church-going Florida congressman, and also was the only non-lawyer to serve as an impeachment manager. And then, of course, Kamala Harris, who's probably the most well-known, and then Susan Rice. But as I look at all those candidates, I'd have to think that of the 6 African-American women that we've named, that Kamala Harris is probably the leading candidate for one principal reason, and that is, I think, because of her relationship with Joe Biden's deceased son, Beau.
Right. Well, not Stacey Abrams or Keisha Lance Bottoms or Susan Rice? I mean, because a lot of people are mad at Kamala Harris because of her stance on, a lot of that, locking black folks up in California and those laws. Don't she have some issues there?
She has a lot of issues, Ricky. She also had some questions about potential corruption with respect to her relationship to Willie Brown. And so she's got a lot of issues. But of all of these people that we've named, she's the only one who's been through national vetting. So whatever there is to know about her has probably already been found out. Many of these other candidates may
Susan
have
Rice,
skeletons in their closet that we don't know about.
And not Susan Rice?
Susan Rice has never run for elected office, Ricky. She served in 3 presidential administrations, but she's never been vetted the way a candidate would. She has more White House experience than any of these other people, substantially more, but we really don't know that much about her.
Now here's what I like to see, because I'm not. I think that Joe Biden will win. I'm not really concerned about who the VP pick is. What I am concerned about is to see 2 black women seated on the United States Supreme Court. And if I had anything, I love President Obama and our first black president, but it would have been sweet if he would have sat a black woman on the United States Supreme Court. What are your thoughts?
Well, I certainly agree with that. And the court has taken a much more prominent role in politics now that we've seen what has happened with the 2 appointees that President Trump put there Gorsuch and Kavanaugh, and also with the recent illnesses of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I mean, people realize that we're one vote away from some major policy changes, like on abortion rights and other states' rights-related issues. And so I think that, obviously the next president may have the opportunity to put two people on the Supreme Court, and so it's a critically important part of the campaign analysis.
Yeah, it's just heartbreaking. All these years of having the United States Supreme Court, a black woman has never served. That's heartbreaking. And I'm just like for some reason, I lose sleep over that. I wake up and all these qualified appellate judges and black women don't even get considered. I don't know. We need to have a whole topic about that, having a black woman seated on the United States Supreme Court, because that's a part of a really big demographic, and they're not being represented. You know what I'm saying? What if he ran with Michelle Obama? Do you think the possibility of Michelle Obama being on the ticket?
I think she took herself out of the race so early, Ricky, to stop exactly that type of discussion. I mean, you and I have already said that she would probably be our favorite candidate for a lot of reasons. But I just don't think she's put her name in there, and I think she has been intentionally absent from the campaign. But I don't know that the discussion needs to be limited to the African American females. I still think Elizabeth Warren is in the running.
Oh yeah, Elizabeth Warren. And what about Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer?
The problem with her, Ricky, I think, is that she doesn't have the same national stature. It's difficult for governors to become president, with the exception of probably Ronald Reagan. And I just don't know that he would put her on the ticket other than to appeal to try and get the state of Michigan as a swing state. I mean, if he were to put Warren on the ticket, he would appeal to progressives and a lot of disaffected Bernie Sanders supporters. She's got really good policy chops, and she has a national stature, and she's an extraordinarily successful fundraiser. So it would make sense if he was going to pick a female that was not African American, then it would probably be Elizabeth Warren, in my view.
Glennon, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
But do you think that if he were to pick somebody like Elizabeth Warren, wouldn't that kind of turn off the black Democratic base? Because then you just still got two old white folks on top of the ticket. I mean,
it absolutely would. But if he picks Warren, it would bring back in a lot of the suburban white females, and the white female vote was largely the reason that Trump won in 2016. So,
the black vote is why the Democrats win.
The black vote is why the Democrats win, and Jim Clyburn is the reason that Biden is going to win the nomination. But I really think when it comes down to it, if I had to predict who he will pick, I think he will pick Harris.
That's what I'm thinking.
Oh, Lord.
Yep, that's what I'm thinking. But I think that if he does that...
But y'all don't think if he picked Keisha Lance Bottoms, man, that was just like she
don't have enough of a national profile, though, Rick.
Hell, neither does Donald Trump.
I understand that, but Donald Trump had some different dynamics going on that Keisha Lance Bottoms don't have.
And you see where that got us too, Ricky.
Yeah.
I don't think that I like Keisha Lance Bottoms. I don't think that she has the level of experience, and I know that Trump had none either, but I don't think she has the level of experience to cause her to be selected among the other candidates. Not that she's not ready for the job. I just don't think it would cause her to rise to the top of other candidates who have significantly more experience. I think somebody like Karen Bass, for instance, has significantly more experience than Keisha Lance Bottoms, even though I like Mayor Bottoms.
Right. All right, Glenn, let everybody know how you can be reached.
You can reach me on Twitter at @G3 and follow me, and I'll follow you back. Let's continue the conversation, and remember to get out and vote.
There it is, y'all. The one and only Glennon Threatt, member of Tampa Alpha Psi.